Howdy, everybody, and welcome to a Thunderdome Thursday edition of the B Team. Today, the B stands for boudin. I'm Ryan Brauninger. He's Richard Zane. Producing the show behind the fishbowl is Cade Bickham. And
am I really the only guy that, I'm the only one that's not B Team? You're Brauny. That's boudin. He's Bickham.
Well, when Nick hosts on Wednesday, I'm the odd man out because there's only one B. Because of what happened and what we've talked about the entire week, we thought, what better time to eat boudin than after a bludgeoning of LSU? And that's what we will do once we start picking games for this weekend a little bit later on in the show. But we're going to talk more about just the continued circus that continues to unfold across the Sabine River. Thank you, LSU. Thank you, Governor Landry, for, if nothing else, during this week, you've given the most popular drive-home internet show in the country something to talk about during the bye week.
What country?
This country.
Not Kazakhstan?
The Republic of Texas. The Republic of Texas, which, for all intents and purposes, is part of the reason why the LSU system, the state of Louisiana, is in complete disarray. I've said it twice this week. Texas A&M did that. What happened Saturday night, the effects are still being felt by our neighbors to the east. The roller coaster is still ascending. Every day, this thing gets weirder and weirder, including today. Governor Jeff Landry, here's the way I look at this. First of all, this whole thing continues to play out like a deleted scene from The Waterboy. Governor Jeff Landry, it's like yesterday's impromptu press conference. I guess that's what it was. Whenever he was standing behind a podium that said, "Protect the vulnerable," and he started espousing on all the issues with Brian Kelly and Scott Woodward and how the taxpayer will have the $53 million is being forced on the taxpayer. And to me, it's like this guy just found the internet yesterday. So he got in front of the cameras and said all this stuff, then realized that he went viral. And he's gotten like a little addicted to it. Oh, yeah, he got a taste. He's
excited.
And so today, I was in the gym and just walking through the gym, not even looking at anything, just going between machines. And I look up and they got the Pat McAfee show on one of the TVs. And who do I see on the TV is Jeff Landry. In 24 hours, this guy's gone from nobody outside of the state of Louisiana had ever heard of him to a household name across sports, and he's a politician. But right now, he's not just a politician. He's LSU's president. He's LSU's seeming athletic director, and he has a lot of opinions that he's got to get out. And again, it's like he'd never seen the internet until yesterday, and he got his opinions out in front of a microphone and a camera. They go viral, and he's like, man, I kind of dig this. Where else can I go talk about this stuff? And Pat McAfee gave him the avenue for that.
What the thing he said today was that he wants LSU decision makers to move to fire Woodward. Obviously, that seems like the most obvious next step.
Well, in the last hour, he's tweeted.
You don't have to say it.
In the last hour, he's tweeted about how he tweeted a screenshot of Brian Kelly's contract. And how he's reading it or how he's interpreting it is that the taxpayers are going to be on the hook for this buyout, which the state of Louisiana, I think, they would crowdfund that without question. Get that guy out.
Would you like me to read the tweet?
Sure, go ahead.
The tweet says, Brian Kelly's contract was with the board of LSU, and it's in the first paragraph, and LSU is a subdivision of the state. This makes the state liable for any debt, thus putting the ultimate responsibility on the backs of Louisiana taxpayers. As I stated, this is why public officials would be concerned with these contracts.
Well, you have to understand the real battle at play here between Jeff Landry and Scott Woodward. It is completely political.
Red versus blue.
They are on different sides of the aisle. And if you remember, it didn't really gain much traction nationally. And I vaguely remember it coming out and just kind of scrolling by it on social media. But Scott Woodward has, on some level, said he would like to go into politics once he's done in athletics. And that is where his background lies. He was a lobbyist in the state of Louisiana.
See, I didn't know
his father-in-law was Mark Emmert.
No, I didn't
The
know
Mark
that.
Emmert?
The Mark Emmert of NCAA, I wouldn't say fame, but infamy, I guess.
He is
Huh.
Scott Woodward is his son-in-law.
Okay.
But he has a background in the political sphere, and he has made it known to certain people that he'd like to eventually get back into the political game. Well, I think Jeff Landry viewed this as a perfect opportunity to squash any thought of that in the future. This is a political opponent from across the aisle who may or may not in the future have eyes on my seat. I can peg this entire contract on him. I can make him look like an enemy of the state. I can make him look like an enemy of the people of Louisiana, all in one press conference and then subsequent tweets after. Why not do it?
Mission accomplished.
Yes.
If that's the goal, man. Is Scott Woodward the most unpopular, infamous person in the state of Louisiana right now, not named Brian Kelly? Or I guess,
I mean, Jeff Landry's
like Jeff Landry, you think
he's running a race with him now? It
doesn't seem like much of a race.
I think even
It seems like Jeff Landry was the guy with the starting gun at the line, and he just, instead of shooting it up in the air, he took it and he's pointing it at Scott Woodward.
I think even his supporters are going, can you please stop talking? He has an incessant need to talk over the last 48 hours. And he's saying a lot of stuff. That tweet that Cade just read, he continues to get his version of the story out there. And if you just start scrolling through those replies, Cade, there are a lot of people that are saying the same thing I'm saying. Like, hey, man, I'm a lawyer. I voted for you. I think you're wrong on this. And can you please stop talking? Because what he's doing, he continues to just zoom in on a massive issue and blow it up for the entire country to see. And in turn, because he's saying all these things about coaches' contracts and how they'll never enter into any kind of deal like that again, he's pulled back the curtain on a giant circus in his state. He is really limiting the pool of candidates who want to take this job. I said yesterday on the show, I think they're going to have to hire somebody with LSU ties. If it keeps going, if they keeps going this direction, they're going to have to, because who wants to jump on that grenade?
Hey, Ed O said he'd go back.
Again.
Ed O said he'd jump on that grenade. Yep.
Yeah, and Kelvin Shepard's name has been brought up, and there's a tie there for you. The Lions DC played at LSU. Like, that's who they're going to have to target. But it's just so funny to me that everybody and their mother can see that this is a giant disaster, yet they will have people run toward it because it's LSU and it matters that much to the people in that state. But whenever the governor comes out and he is very vocal, first of all, about his opinion on the job, on the contracts, he said that they were going to use a committee to find the best head coach for LSU. Then they go to the LSU board. What is it called, Cade? The board of supervisors? Whatever. The board of directors.
Regents?
The board of directors.
I don't know.
It was the same group that was in the tweet you just read.
Oh, okay.
The LSU board of directors, they went to one of the guys on there and asked him about the search committee. And on camera, this guy goes, "Well, I don't know anything about a search committee." Like 20 minutes after the governor said they're hiring a search committee.
Just board of LSU, actually.
It's amazing. It is amazing.
And the article today by Ross Dellinger, who has written some award-worthy pieces over this deal since Saturday.
Ross Dellinger is far and away, I don't think anybody is close to the preeminent reporter on all things college football right now, from NIL to the House settlement to now the unfolding soap opera out of Baton Rouge. If you are not following him, you are doing yourself a disservice.
Go read his article
today. For Ross's
today.
sake, I hope he's enjoying this, because this seems like way more fun, excitement, and entertainment than covering Supreme Court proceedings back in May.
Yeah. Way more fun than NIL legislation, way more fun than transfer portal movement and metamorphosis. This, and unfortunately for LSU, Ross Dellinger cut his teeth in Baton Rouge. And so his ties and his connections and his sources run very, very deep in that city.
Do you know
and
who
in that state?
Ross Dellinger's wife is a political writer, political reporter with a lot of ties in Washington, D.C. So I'm sure that she could very easily get some connections to what's going on in the capital of Louisiana.
This is the story Ross Dellinger was meant to write about.
Yes.
In his article today, it goes back to Huey Long. It goes back to John Bell Edwards, the governor in Louisiana before Jeff Landry. It is a sensationally well-written article. It's succinct. He doesn't get long-winded explaining the history of the state. He does tie in some like food references to Louisiana and how he calls the Jeff Landry's speech yesterday was a sauce piquant, which means like it's a spicy like stew dish in Louisiana. So he does it. He's the perfect guy to cover this story. And again, like I'm sure there are people in Louisiana that are going, man, this guy is the national writer. Like Richard said, the number one voice, the number one writer in covering college football. And he's got all the access to all the ins and outs of this deal. And after reading that article that he put out today, like I said, it seems like the roller coaster's still going up. Like there's some big free fall coming, but we ain't there yet because we're still, it's click, 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 click. And we can't even see the apex of the drop.
It's like the Titan at Six Flags in Arlington. It's like the tallest. You're just going up and up and up and up and up. And when you finally go down, it's a lot of fun.
This has been thoroughly enjoyable from my seat and has been equally captivating. I can't get enough of this stuff. I said that on Tuesday's edition of the B Team, I couldn't get enough of watching the LSU meltdown and the reaction on Saturday and Sunday, just from their media people, just from their fans, because after getting beat down by the Aggies. I haven't been able to turn this off either. And because of, again, my unique kind of connection to the state of Louisiana from going to school over there, and just some of the guys that I played ball with have been really successful in that state. And so now they're intertwined in knowing people that know people. I've gotten kind of a behind the scenes look at this, and it is wild. And they're getting ready to hire a president that's going to have to walk. I'll tell you this. If they were going to hire Ryan Brauninger as the next president of LSU, and we had kind of come to terms maybe last week about what they were going to pay me and what the whole thing was going to look like, I'd be asking for double. Salary and incentives, I want double after this. Because all you had to do, you were in a bye week, you're probably going to go on the road next week and lose to Alabama, probably. But by that time that game is played, you will have a sitting president in the chair. You couldn't have waited 10 days to do all this? It wild,
was that
man.
bad. They couldn't wait 10 days. What Mike Elko did to everybody's collective brain and IQ in the state of Louisiana is so bad they couldn't wait 10 days. That's crazy.
Fact is stranger than fiction over there right now. Everything's on the table. And Ross Dellinger goes into a negotiated buyout, not a potential for a negotiated buyout, not a reality yet. And it is masked in this morality clause, which, first of all, for any SEC program, a morality clause is LOL funny. Because we know that if you win games, a lot of stuff gets brushed under the rug and overlooked. It's happened for a long time in this conference. It's happened for a long time in this state. So I'm not putting Texas on a pedestal above anybody. But what I'm saying is, it's just funny to me that a morality clause exists in the state of Louisiana, given its history. That is the most hilarious gotcha attempt I've ever seen. Hey, we're LSU. We have this morality clause. Oh, by the way, Richard, I don't have to name any names, but some of the people that they may try to hire.
Can I name names?
No, don't name names.
Can I name names?
No, don't name names. But just think about the candidate pool for LSU and for Florida and for really any of these jobs that are coming open, and ask yourself, should they be taking to task their previous head coach for a morality clause if they're about to hire next name?
No.
It's just funny. But what LSU's thinking is, man, we'll fire that morality clause if it'll save us $25 million. So Ross Dellinger's article today says this thing could end up in a Louisiana court. And boy, you want to pay for Brian Kelly's buyout? Air that thing on live stream it, pay-per-view.
C-SPAN.
Live stream that, pay-per-view. I'll pay $10.99 to watch it. That would be, again, this is, you couldn't write what's happening over there. And I'm trying to think, like, could this ever happen in the state of Texas? I don't think it could. Texas is too big. I know the governor has some kind of sovereignty on the Board of Regents at A&M in Texas. I don't know, does he have that kind of sovereignty over Texas Tech or Houston or any of the other big public schools in the state? Can you look that up for me, Cade? I do know that he has it over A&M and Texas. And by the way, Governor Landry said that today on the Pat McAfee show to like absolve himself of not overstepping his boundaries. He said, and they have this in the state of Texas too, where the governor oversees the appointments of the Board of Regents members at A&M in Texas. But he didn't say Texas Tech. But Texas is too big. The state's too big and grandiose. There are too many it's kind of split party lines between Aggies and Longhorns with a smattering of Red Raiders in there, I would think. And not just Red Raiders, but those are the big public institutions.
Yeah.
And the private schools have their own deal, and we can go back to 2011 with Baylor and the conference realignment thing. But like I said yesterday, Louisiana, the room is too small. The room is too small, and it's got one head honcho, one big dog sitting at the middle of it, and it's LSU football. And there's a lot of pigs at the trough, a lot of them. And so you have to look at this, to me now, you have to start looking at this through the lens of Scott Woodward. So Scott Woodward, you had political aspirations. This guy just drug you through the mud in front of God and everybody. You're still not fired, but there's under no circumstance can you work at LSU anymore. After what happened yesterday, you can't work there anymore.
Yeah,
but you're not going to resign because if they fire you without cause, they got to pay you $9 million. That's his buyout. So I think this could get messy because if I'm Scott Woodward, what do I have to lose? Governor Landry essentially ended my political career yesterday, or at least attempted to. So if he's a politician in an AD seat, I don't think he's going to take this lying down. I think there's going to be maybe a phone call made to a journalist in the state. Maybe it's to Ross Dellinger. I don't know. But maybe it comes from the other side of the aisle. He goes, okay, Governor Landry had his say. Here's what I've got. And if that happens, you just kick your feet up. We'll kick our boots up over here around a nice fall campfire, and we'll look east across the Sabine River, and we'll watch the fireworks increase 20-fold.
Like the 4th of July. I tried to do my best. Jeff Landry's
accent, it's a real tick. It's real tick-like. He's from down Dubai. He's from St. Martinville Parish. You got to talk like that. The first time I went to Lake Charles.
There you go. That sounds just like it. Do that again. The first time you went to Lake Charles?
Lake Charles. First time I went to Lake Charles, Shay, I went down. I was going to the gas station, okay? And I didn't know I have no directions. I was trying to find the bookstore, okay? And the guy in the gas station, he say, you brought yourself down to that light and you take a left. You brought yourself down to the next light, you take a right, and it's right there. That's exactly what he told me.
Did you get there?
Yeah, I figured it out. This was nice. Right before I had, you had maps on your phone. But yeah,
Which cell phone were you using at the time? Was that your Motorola Razr?
No, I would think that was the early editions of the iPhone.
Oh.
But anyway, what an incredible saga. And again, we tip our cap to you, Louisiana, as Texans. And we say thank you for providing all the entertainment we needed during this bye week.
Yes, thank you very much. I've very much enjoyed all of it.
And in order,
nothing else is going on in sports.
Oh, we're going to talk about that in a second. And in honor of you, we have boudin here, and we will partake of it. Now, this boudin is not from Louisiana. This boudin is from Butcher's Corner on Boston Avenue in Nederland, Texas. If you ever find yourself in Southeast Texas, I paid for this, by the way. They didn't just give it to us. I bought this, but if you ever find yourself in Southeast Texas and you're looking for a place to eat, specifically in Mid-County being Mid-Jefferson County, stop in at Butcher's Corner on Boston Avenue in Nederland. And they'll have all this in a window. And they have fresh cut steaks, ribeyes. They do daily specials. When I went in there a couple of Fridays ago, they had gratons. You know what gratons are?
I do not. Please educate me.
Cracklins.
Cracklins, okay.
Gratons is the Cajun word for. So we had got a half a bag of gratons, and then they had a prime rib sandwich on a homemade bun. It was incredible.
That sounds really, really good.
I said it's a ribeye sandwich, but regardless, still really good.
Sounds really, really good.
They have daily specials there. So go see the people at Butcher's Corner on Boston Avenue in Nederland. They make, I've said it all week, they make artisanal boudin. And so the guy that is their, I guess he's their head butcher, and it's kind of his idea. The whole place is his idea, and he decided he wanted to like start experimenting with custom boudins. And so what we have today is a brisket and cheddar boudin. We have a jalapeno cheddar boudin, which is a good Tex Cajun mix, right? Both of those are brisket cheddar, jalapeno cheddar.
I like all of those things.
And then the final one, which I think is another ode to being a Southeast Texan. So you're very much Texan, but you have the Cajun influence. Frito chili pie boudin. So we're going to get into that. Cade has probably 2 or 3 bites of each. So we'll get into that when we start picking games. So that will about close the book on the Louisiana talk. This has been a 3-day thing on this show. But we have to ask Mr. Zane, who said there's other things going on in the sport world. Where's your pucker meter?
I mean, I'm dead. I'm dead.
You're not dead.
I'm dead.
Does that mean you're unpuckered?
I'm dead. Like I came to the realization last night, probably the 6th inning or so, when Trey Yesavage was just dicing him up because he was incredible. It still boggles my mind that his release point is 7.4 feet or whatever, and it's just splitters coming straight down. It's incredible. It's a lot of fun.
Guy was pitching in college baseball.
It would be
18 months ago.
Lot of fun to watch if he were on my team or he weren't beating my team. But I came to the realization then that this is really the same stuff I've watched most of the year. And it didn't change. And it's not going to change. Now, the saving grace is Yoshinobu Yamamoto's on the mound tomorrow night. He's been, I think, the best pitcher in baseball throughout the postseason. 2 complete games back-to-back. However, I also know that earlier in the season, when the Dodger bullpen couldn't get anybody out, he threw a no-hitter through 8 2/3 innings. And lost because the Dodgers couldn't get one out when they had a 5-0 lead. So I don't have faith anymore. It's the same stuff I've been watching all year, and their starting pitching really masked those issues, and the issues being bullpen being a complete disaster, outfield defense being a major problem. It showed up again last night. Teoscar Hernandez should never be allowed to play the outfield, let alone in the World Series.
Yes, I know exactly what play you're talking about. It was terrible.
I mean, think about the 18-inning game. He completely misplayed a ball and had a terrible throw that could have gotten Vlad Guerrero home, like at the plate. He's just not good. And then the bottom of the lineup's been trash all year, and then the offensive approach has been non-existent. It's been the same all year, and they didn't do. And these have been issues that have held the Dodgers back because it's a team that won their division. Yes, it sounds like I'm crying, even though they're one of the best teams in the league. They should have won over 100 games easily. They should have wrapped up the division in the early days of September. But the same issues that we saw in June and July went unaddressed at the deadline, and now they're back with a vengeance.
Well, unaddressed at the deadline, but they still have so much star power. I got to ask you this, because I think the conversation is less about the Dodgers and way more about the Blue Jays.
Yes, absolutely.
Way more about the Blue Jays. But we have to talk about this because yesterday you stood on the table for Will Smith, and I think Will Smith's a great player. He was bad last night.
Not good. A lot of wild pitches. They even charged him with a pass ball. He was bad. I mean, and every single time a ball got away from him, he wasn't good with the block. Move the guy up in the scoring position, maybe move a guy to third. Blue Jays cashed in. And that leads right into what I know you're going to say, and it's something that I should have said earlier on. And it's the cliche. It's not the best team that wins. It's the team that plays the best. And one team is far and away the better team, is playing the best right now, and that's the Toronto Blue Jays. They play fantastic defense. They've gotten really, really good starting pitching. Each one of their bullpen guys has been fantastic. Hoffman coming in, it makes me feel like I have no chance, even though he pitched in a 5-run game. I don't know why they brought him in, but regardless. Louis Varland's got a rubber arm. He's going to get 6 outs each and every night, and you have no chance. Like, they play the game the right way, and it's refreshing to see baseball and baseball teams put a premium on playing the game the right way and trying to scratch a run across as opposed to the slug and pray for the 3-run homer, which, by the way, has completely eluded the Dodgers. And, oh, by the way, that club is also in Toronto's bag. They can do it all.
And they're doing it with, right now in the lineup, I think one guy that's a household name in Vladdy Jr.
Vlad Guerrero Jr.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but he has he tied last night for second most total bases in a postseason, behind Arozarena in 2020.
Oh yeah,
which
really.
I don't think anybody's gonna. I honestly don't know if he even has a chance to
I
catch
wouldn't
that,
think
because
it was
Arozarena was
Arozarena.
at 65.
Who would you have thought?
Adolis Garcia from the Rangers year.
Well, the Rangers, I don't think, played a wild card series that year.
Oh, that's right.
No,
Yeah,
they did because they didn't win the division, right? Because it was the
Astros won the division.
that World Series was short. That World Series was only 5 games.
6 games. No,
the Rangers won the World Series in 5 games.
no, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they
because
didn't.
they started the World Series in Arlington and they won in Arizona.
I'm talking about. Oh, you're right. The World Series. I'm thinking of the ACS.
Yes. So
LCS.
and
my
then
fault.
that.
Because
Yes,
the
the
ALCS
was a 7-game series.
The visitor won every game.
And then keep in mind that when Arozarena did it in 2020, they had the expanded playoff because of the bubble. And then they played 7 games
You're
with
right.
Houston.
I was thinking about the ALCS.
I don't remember what they did in their division series round, but I imagine it was a long series.
Well, bringing up the Rangers, this is an interesting talking point, I think, is this Blue Jays team have staying power, or is it more like the Rangers? Because you'll remember that Rangers team had a lot of young guys playing huge roles, just like the Jays.
I still don't think the Ranger window's closed.
Yeah, but
they looked real bad this year, but they could get a couple free agent pieces, maybe get some guys to develop and another year in the system.
But you looked at Garcia, and then you looked at Evan Carter, and you look at Josh Young.
I also got to remember how much Josh Smith is still a good player, probably their team MVP this year, because Corey Seager was hurt for so long.
But don't you get, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, I thought they were going to be an impact in the race.
Yeah.
From start to finish, and they had a little blip, and they weren't very good.
The fun thing about this question is the American League East might be turning into the best division in baseball. Right? The National League West has a pretty good argument to make too, with Arizona being pretty solid and San Diego and LA going back and forth,
and now Tony V in San Francisco.
The Yankees aren't going away. They're going to try and reload. They're tired of being embarrassed. I don't know how they do it. They're going to have to buy older players.
Their young players kind of stink.
Yes. They need to make some moves. They need to make some moves in the roster. They need to make some moves in the manager spot. They need to make some moves in the front office. But the Red Sox, pretty solid, even though they got rid of Rocky Devers.
And what's going to happen with Bregman?
That'll be interesting. I know what's going to happen with Bregman. X-team signs him for the largest offer because he's a Scott Boras client. Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Unless he wants to come back to Houston.
Oh, and he's going to sign for the most money because there's a work stoppage coming.
Yeah.
So every single free agent, I don't think they care where they land. It's all going to be about interesting dollar sign.
What that does to the market, though. If all these owners are going, well, they're not going to work. We're looking at maybe a strike here.
You might have you're looking at a lockout. You're looking at a lockout after 26. I don't think the players' union will strike.
Whatever, you won't be paying them, right? So does that affect the market? Does that affect the overall number on the top, the bottom line of these contract offers? We'll see. But I did want to say this. The Toronto Blue Jays are incredibly fun to watch. I think they've got a little staying power because Bo Bichette and Vlad Guerrero Jr. are still pretty young. Alejandro Kirk pretty young. So they've got some staying power. And then Trey Yesavage looks like, hey, after last night, Trey Yesavage, welcome to Team USA for the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, he looks every bit as dominant as Skeens and Skubal.
Yeah,
1,000%.
Again, we said it before we even knew what this guy was. But the American roster for the World Baseball Classic, Cade, could be the best assembly of pitching talent in the history of the world.
Yeah, it really could. I mean, it's going to be really fun to see in the World Baseball Classic that that rotation and the Team Japan rotation.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's just unbelievable.
The Japanese have a kid that's
this high school kid, right?
Yeah, he's wanting to come over and play college ball. He's like 6'4" and two-way player, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
I think that more of them will start doing that, actually.
Well, it gets them to the big leagues quicker.
Exactly, yeah.
But there is, that league over there is serious business, and they make good money. And I just from my 50,000-mile view of it, it seems like there's great pride in playing in that league for those Japanese players. Like,
100%. The fans, like, they really show out over there. Like, that's their big sporting event that they'll show up to. So they show out. Those stadiums get packed.
I talked to Brooks Raley.
Looks awesome.
Yeah, because he pitched over there for a while.
In Korea. He pitched in Korea, I think, for like 8 years. He loved it. Like the setup over there, like I think they were flying his wife and kids back and forth whenever they wanted. They paid for his lodging the whole time he was there, and then paid him a really good salary. That's got to be a cool experience. If you go and play internationally at any sport, I think it's sick. But especially if you go to one of these leagues, like what is it? The Turkish and Croatian basketball. Like if you go play in those leagues and the atmospheres are nuts. If you go play in Japan or Korea for baseball, like those atmospheres are each and every night. It's sold out, and that is the main attraction in town. That'd be sick.
Absolutely.
What's going on back there?
Yeah. What's going on?
Luke Evangelist is putting some stuff back.
Oh, why
does he have to do it so noisily?
Well, I can just mute my microphone.
Is he giggling? Is he giggling while doing it?
No.
Halloween is tomorrow. If you are a fan of TexAgs Live, I suggest you tune in. I'll be hosting the show.
Are you
that is not why you should tune in.
Are you dressing up?
If you're a fan of Olin Buchanan, of which there are many.
That's true. And a new one, in fact, in his acting role. Last night, I think I told you about this. After I took my hour to cool down after the Dodger loss, got in bed, put on Netflix, and
you toss on Varsity Blues?
Jenna had never seen Varsity Blues. And she's like, it's late. Just put something on. I was like, time out, you have to see this. I started fast forwarding. She goes, do you know someone in this movie? And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, is it your aunt? Because my aunt was an extra in the Spy Kids wedding scene, like just seen in the background once, like years and years ago. I'm like, just wait and see. She didn't know the movie was made in Austin or anything. And I stop it where Mox and his girlfriend are having the argument outside the football game. And then all you hear is, this is Olin Buchanan of KPJC. And she goes, wait, what the? Olin? Awesome. And it's one of those where she sits up in bed, she's glued. So maybe we'll watch Varsity Blues tonight.
Have you told her about the whipped cream bikini scene?
No, you ruined it. Way to go.
Does she watch it? She doesn't watch this show.
We haven't seen it yet.
Oh, but yeah, who did I ruin it for?
Well, now she's not going to let me watch it.
Oh. If she's watching this show, I doubt she's got us tuned in.
She always is.
Oh, does she?
Or she usually watches. She sent me, she wanted me to save her some boudin.
Darcy Sears.
Yeah.
It's Allie Larder. Landman.
Yeah.
She looks almost, obviously,
she looks better
nobody
now.
can beat Father Time, but
she has.
She has. She's kept herself in shape.
Respect.
I'm looking forward to Landman season 2. I love season 1.
I am too. I really liked it. That was one of the things I binged. Might have been last bye week.
I don't know who the writer was for that, but the writing was incredible.
Is it not Sheridan?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to stuff like that though. I couldn't tell you who produces movies, who writes movies. Would he have any cinephiles? Is that what that word is? Cinephiles? Cinephiles.
Yeah, it was created by Taylor Sheridan, written by Taylor Sheridan, same guy who did Yellowstone.
Yeah, so the writing,
Sons of Anarchy, and all sorts of stuff.
I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Taylor Sheridan is.
Well, yeah, he's super talented.
18. Oh, did he do? Yeah, he did Sons of Anarchy. Veronica Mars is where he got his start. Tulsa King, Lioness, and now Landman. Inducted in the Texas Cowboy Hall of Fame in 2021.
I didn't know that. So he's from Texas.
Yeah. He's from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. But he grew up in have reported that he grew up on a ranch in Cranfill's Gap, but he was raised in Fort Worth.
Okay.
He went to Texas State and then got an honorary degree from TCU.
Texas State, shockingly, with a lot of famous alumni. A lot of Texas country guys are Bobcats.
Paul Goldschmidt, of course, and
Randy Rogers.
And Kay, do you have a favorite Texas State alumnus?
No.
Are you sure?
I'd have to go look it up.
Yeah, you should. Do yourself a favor.
Oh. You don't have to don't do that on a work computer.
Incognito browser, Cade.
Oh.
Jeez.
I'll do it later then.
Yeah, this guy. Whoa. All right, dude. Hey, listen.
Hey.
It's a family show.
I'm not going to look it up now.
Okay. Richard got us down this path.
He'd be directing the show one.
By the way, you've been saying some things. You've been saying some things in the lobby that's gotten even Olin to blush. Last couple of days.
What did I say?
Well, you just say stuff, and he just says everybody starts casting their perversions on me when it's really Richard that does it.
Olin and I have had this discussion. It's not. We are both the equal parts perverted. 1,000%. The two of us are the degenerates as far as our jokes go.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't think one of us outpaces the other.
You're both line steppers.
But I do think
habitual line steppers.
Yes, habitual line steppers. I do think Olin might get a little bit more of a bad rap than I do. But Olin does say that one joke I told him is what let him know that I was going to be cool to work with. Maybe I'll share it with you off air, Cade.
But again, if you are a fan of Olin Buchanan, I suggest you tune into TexAgs Live tomorrow morning.
Are you already aware of what his
Yes, I'm very aware. He told me.
I have no idea.
Okay, well, we're not going to.
I'm
going to
have to tune
obviously.
in then. Yeah.
You're not. It'll be Nick producing tomorrow morning in the show. We are working on some cool stuff. Obviously, Lucci's on that show, working for an exclusive interview. So we'll see if I can get that.
We've done some cool stuff today. We had Marcel Reed in for
like a 25-minute interview.
Yeah, it was awesome. He's easiest kid to root for on the planet. And then, of course, he went to recess with some kids.
Yeah, if y'all didn't see that, Marcel Reed left our office and went to an elementary school. It looked like it was just right down here off of George Bush Drive. And essentially went to recess or after school fun time, like playtime, I guess, with these elementary school kids. And they were taking his phone. He was on Instagram Live. They were taking his phone. There was about 67 references in that because now it has, I guess, dropped down society from the thick-skulled 21-year-olds to whatever age Luke Evangelist is, all the way down to like first graders. It has trickled down that far.
I didn't like the 6-7 jokes on Marcel's live stream. I liked the girl who stole his phone. Who's like, chat, I stole his phone, chat, I stole his phone.
Yeah, these kids just sit around and watch streamers all day. So they have the lexicon of it. Like they talk like a streamer, even though they're 8 years old.
It's funny.
That's what we're at. That's where we're at today.
Welcome. Great job, guys.
What is Halloween? Have you been a Halloween guy? Are you a dress-up guy? Or you give out candy guy?
Well, we don't have a house right now. We live in an apartment, and we don't get any trick-or-treaters. We've been in the same place for now 2 years. So we were there last Halloween. And nobody really came by the house. Tomorrow, I'm doing nothing other than sitting on the couch in a straitjacket watching baseball, so I don't hurt myself or destroy.
Pucker meter on 10.
But no, I would like to dress up. I've dressed up before. One of the things I did, I guess it would have been 2015, that Aggie Knights game against South Carolina that was played at 11 a.m. Wore a Scooby-Doo costume, and one of my roommates.
It's in my trunk right now.
Yeah, it's still in Kate's trunk. That's my Scooby-Doo costume. So then I wore a black Johnny Manziel jersey on top of it. So I was not. Oh, I wasn't Scooby-Doo. I was Johnny Manziel as Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, Halloween version of Johnny.
So I wore that to Northgate that night. I think that's really the most memorable costume I've had. I've done the lame, be the baseball player before. I haven't dressed up in a couple of years.
Yeah, growing up, I did it when I was probably dressed up, and our neighborhood was really good. We're trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
I dressed up, and we would go trick-or-treating from probably 8 to 13. I guess when I got into high school, I kind of quit dressing up. And then when you get into college, you dress up again. And Halloween parties are such a big deal. My senior year Halloween party at McNeese is the stuff of legendary because of some of my best friends whom you know. Some of them were standing by my side at my wedding. I'll just say this. They decided that they were going to make refreshments for the party and a beverage for the entire party to enjoy. They made it in one of those giant plastic trash cans.
Ugh.
They did put trash bags in there, so that had a lining in it. They spent, it was over $250 in the cheapest alcohol you can buy. I'm talking like Taka
Grain
vodka.
alcohol,
Yeah, like
Everclear.
so in Louisiana, you can buy liquor at the gas station, right? And they were buying handles, not fists. They're buying handles of this stuff. And it was whiskey, what? It was vodka. It was gin.
What?
It was bourbon.
What?
It was rum.
What?
There was some tequila.
What?
It was everything. And it was over $250 worth of the bottom shelf of the bottom shelf.
Ugh.
They're getting handles of this stuff.
I'm getting a headache
for like
just listening to this.
$9.99.
I can imagine.
Why can you imagine, Cade?
I'm in college.
Your mom
You
goes
are
to
in
college.
grad school, sir.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So then they grabbed a bunch of different like fruit juices, right? And it's from concentrate, and they would add water, and then they didn't have enough of that, so they had to go back to the store, and they're just grabbing there was no flavor profile to this thing, right? Like they were grabbing cranberry grape juice and orange juice, and then they ran out of all that, and they're like, oh, they went and found like peach juice, apple juice, any kind of juice went into this thing. And then they cut up a bunch of fruit and set it in there. They put it in the backyard uncovered.
Oh.
They put it in the backyard of this house party uncovered. The house that this party took place at, you know this guy real well. We're not saying names, okay? And
Real well.
everybody, when you walked in, they were giving people the solo cups, and you would go and dip your cup into that trash can in the backyard to fill it up. When they got done with it, they dumped it out in the back and on the lawn on the backyard. The grass was dead in 2 days.
Not shocking.
Checks out.
There was a fight that night between a girl dressed like Pebbles from the
The
Flintstones and a girl dressed like a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader who nobody liked. The girl dressed like the Dallas Cowboys cheerleader went through a window. It was...
This does sound
Okay,
pretty
but more
legendary.
importantly, Cade, we're asking the wrong questions. I'm not going to ask questions. I'm going to move on because you've already called me a pervert. So I'm going to...
I don't know where that was going. I'm completely unaware of the direction you were about to go with that because you addressed Cade, but I was telling the story.
I know.
I have an
Sorry.
idea of where he was going with that.
Oh.
That's okay.
Anyway, so I was the DJ for that party because that's what I did in college.
Deej.
And I dressed up as a DJ. That was
What was your DJ name?
I can't say that on air.
Oh, bummer.
So good.
It's pretty good, but
So
we
good.
just can't do that. Even on the B team, I just don't want it clipped. And
I love how
have a wife.
how the
and-
McNeese guys, they don't call you Brauny or Ryan or Brauninger or anything, that you are Deej to them.
Yeah, DJ. That's what everybody in Lake Charles called me.
Deej.
It's funny because everywhere I've lived in 3 different places, really. I lived in Nederland growing up. Everybody called me Rhino. Everybody still calls me Rhino. Everybody. Parents, friends call me Rhino. At McNeese, I'm Deej or DJ. And up here to everybody, I'm Brauny. And nobody calls me anything else. If you're from college, if you met me up here, I'm Brauny. I'm not ever Rhino to anybody else. If you're near, like, it never crosses. It's always it's very distinct to where you're from and where you met me at. So I'm hoping that I'm Brauny for a long time. I don't plan on going anywhere else where they can make up another nickname for me. All right, let's pick some games. But first, we're going to try some boudin. Okay, Richard, you have got the tongs and the knife on your side.
Okay.
Which one are we trying first?
I think we should try the Frito chili pie first, which is this one. So, Richard, it's this one, unless you want to get the big, long one. But it's this one right here.
It's this one, right, Brauny? Actually, you can't tell.
That's
Never
got
mind.
cheddar in it. You can bite it. I cooked it, so you can eat the skin. Man,
This is good, dude.
I don't think that's a Frito chili pie.
This looks like the brisket one.
Yeah, I think that's brisket queso.
This is good. I like this a lot.
That's amazing.
Man, let me tell you something. You ever heard of slap your mama?
Mm-hmm.
That's beat her to death good. Butcher's Corner, shout out. Sorry, chap. We're just eating in your ear again. All right. Yeah, that's definitely the brisket cheddar. That's so good. So good. That's why you tune in on Thursday. Thunderdome Thursday.
Baseball non-conference schedule just dropped.
Oh, really? And we didn't have a graphic ready for it? Or
Oh, well, also, you see how I am right now where I'm not losing my mind over the baseball
keep talking, I'm
non-conference
going to eat
schedule?
the rest of this.
Here's what we got. Tennessee Tech on opening weekend. That's February 13th through the 15th.
Tennessee Tech is where Juan Vargas came from.
A&M Corpus Christi, a midweek game. Penn, a 3-game series, the 20th through the 22nd. Lamar, a midweek matchup on the 24th. You've got that Amagi Bank College Baseball Series at Globe Life Field. Virginia Tech on the 27th. UCLA on the 28th. Arizona State on March 1st. Incarnate Word in a March 3rd midweek game. Oakland. This one's cool. This one's cool because the head coach at Oakland is Brian Nelson. In town, that is, people in Bryan College Station might remember him as the former head coach of the Brazos Valley Bombers. He was the head coach when I was an intern there. Nelly was an awesome guy to me. He's now the head coach there, so they're going to come in here. I'm going to send Callie an email real quick. Callie, it's coming your way.
Oh, we're about to pick games.
And then, so they're here for the final non-conference 3-game series, March 6th through the 8th. Other non-conference midweeks include SFA, Houston Christian, Sam Houston, UTSA, Tarleton, and PV.
No McNeese.
Oh, home and home midweek with Texas State, March 17th in College Station, and April 7th in San Marcos.
Did I miss McNeese? No McNeese.
No McNeese. No McNeese.
Okay. Kate, can you do me a favor? While we're getting ready to pick games, can you get us some napkins?
Wait, can I have more? Which
we haven't gone.
We eaten?
We haven't. So those are the last two.
But what are the ones?
The other one's jalapeno cheddar. The other one is Frito chili pie. That's the same one you just ate.
Yeah, I liked it. I want more of it.
All right. So while Kate is going to get napkins, let's start picking some games this weekend. Again, the Aggies on a bye. You know, this bye feels different to me too because after you beat Notre Dame and went on that bye, it was like relief. It was like, all right, oh, what a win at Notre Dame on the last play. Let's put our feet up and enjoy a week of college football. Now, because everything's that's on the line coming off the bye, I feel like it's been a little bit more hectic around here. It's been certainly less relief and more like, hey, there's some serious stuff that can happen going forward. And so not only the kids that we've had by for the NIL interviews, but even here around the office, it feels like we're kind of locked in on what could happen in the next 4 weeks.
Oh, absolutely. Why wouldn't you be? It's a lot of fun. It's way better than where we've been in the past where you're just kind of struggling through November. I much prefer being anxious and, rather have a game this week than be sitting here twiddling our thumbs.
All right, so we're going to start. I believe this game is tomorrow or tonight. Rice is at home against Memphis. Memphis is favored by 13.5, and I put this game on here for a reason. I don't know if you've been paying attention to Rice.
I haven't.
They're pretty good.
That's tomorrow at 6 p.m.
And who they beat last week, and they were like 14-point dogs last week, and they beat them at home.
They're 4-4. They beat UConn last week.
Right, and UConn was
in double OT.
Right, and UConn was favored by, I think, 13.5 or 12.5. Memphis riding a high after an enormous win over South Florida. They go to sleepy Rice Stadium, which even though Rice is playing better, there's nobody at. I saw some highlights from that game against UConn, and it was it honestly, it makes you feel bad for the kids that are playing because there are that few people in there. The visitor side, I couldn't even see anybody. So
checks out.
Again, I think this is Rice is playing better. That 13.5 is a lot of points. I think Memphis wins the game, but I like Rice to cover.
I think that's a good pick. Memphis, I don't know. I haven't looked through all of your games, but Memphis might be on upset alert here. This seems like a trap game. After what they did last
We'll
week.
see who they got next week.
Next week they've got East Carolina, but you could be caught looking ahead to Tulane, and then at the end of the year they got to play Navy.
Next week they do have Tulane.
Next week is Tulane.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, again, sleepy Rice Stadium tomorrow night on a Friday. Owls getting 13.5. They run the football. They really run the football. I like Rice to cover. I'm not saying they win, but they could.
I'll take that too. I like the Owls here.
Yeah, I'll go with that as well. A word of caution: the Rice defense is pretty bad. It looks
buns.
like. Yeah, they UTSA put up 61 on them. So,
But they've been playing better lately, haven't they?
yeah, they were on like a little losing streak. They were on a little skid, and then that UConn game stopped the skid. So maybe that's some much needed confidence going into a ruin the season type of game here.
The UTSA one looks like the outlier because they played good defense against Navy, only gave up 21.
Yeah, and then like their first game of the year, they only gave up 12, and yeah, it seems like a bit of an outlier. They gave up 34 to UConn last week, but I don't know. I think they'll cover that.
It's just the spot, right? Like it's at Rice on a Friday night. There's not going to be anybody there.
Mm-hmm.
And Memphis off of an emotional win with a look-ahead spot. I like Rice to cover. All right, the next one on Saturday in Columbus, Ohio, inside the Horseshoe, Ohio State is 20.5-point favorites against Penn State. Who would have thought that would be the line 2 months ago? Whenever you're looking, and I can remember that, and there's been a lot of talk this week about what this weekend of college football looks like compared to what we thought it was going to look like in August. And the marquee matchups have really fallen by the wayside because of epic collapses in Happy Valley and epic collapses in Columbia, South Carolina. 20.5 is a lot of points, but I think Ohio State covers.
I do not. I do not think Ohio State covers. Maybe part of that's because I'm a hater and I can't ever say anything nice about Ohio State. But they were also on a bye last week. Maybe they have to knock some rust off. Maybe they're caught looking ahead. I'll take the Buckeyes to win the game, but give me the Knits to cover.
Brauny, I think I'm with you. I think they're just going to blow them out. It just feels like this Penn State team is directionless. It would be a good word. They have nothing to play for right now. They really just have looked terrible without Franklin as well. So I don't know. They don't have Drew Aller anymore. And so like basically you can just key in on both of their running backs, say, hey, we're gonna commit everything to stopping you. We'll dare you to throw it.
I would take
us.
Penn State's team total under. How are they going to score more than 13? I don't even know what their team total is, but I would imagine it's probably 13.5. Like Ohio State plays real defense. The only problem is if you take Penn State team total under and this thing turns into a blowout where Ohio State's up by 35 points in the fourth quarter, then you're at the mercy of backups and nobody caring.
Good point.
So maybe that Penn State team total under is not a great play if you think Ohio State's going to cover and blow them out. All right. Next game in Denton, another big one in North Texas. The Mean Green are 6.5-point favorites against an undefeated Navy team with a quarterback now. And is it Grant Horvath? Brent? Why did I forget that kid's name? Navy quarterback.
Horvath is his last name.
Blake Horvath. A Navy quarterback in Blake Horvath that is now getting some Heisman considerations because he has more rushing yards than Jeremiah Love.
Who was the kid that he ended up not being invited? Was that Keenan Reynolds?
That sounds right.
Was that his last name, Keenan Reynolds? The Navy quarterback a few years ago that
Keenan
led
Reynolds.
the country in rushing that ultimately did not get invited to the Heisman Trophy ceremony. This is a great story. I think Navy's an awesome story. I think Merklinger, is that his last name? Mestamaker. Thank you. I don't know who's Merklinger. Mestamaker at North Texas.
Sounds like
and
a
what
wizard.
he did last week was he's a great story too. Man, what's the line again?
It is
6.5.
6.5 North Texas.
Wow. That's shocking to me because I like the midshipmen to win that game.
I think, obviously, Navy is a very unique offense to prepare for, and I just don't think that North Texas has the personnel on that side of the ball that they are going to be able to match it. I think I like the over in this game, and I like Navy to win it, but I'll take the 6.5 if you're going to give it to me.
The other thing I'll say is I worry about North Texas having punched itself out. Remember they had that blackout game against USF earlier this year, and they got absolutely boat raced.
Yeah.
I don't know if the fan base is excited anymore. I worry about them. I do.
All right, so me and you on the midshipman, Cade?
I'm also on the midshipman. Watching Navy and other service academies reminds me of watching my high school alma mater, Palisade High School, because we ran triple option all day, every day, and we would throw like one or two passes deep a game, and it would usually be a touchdown because nobody's guarding whoever runs down the field. So yeah, I'll go. Yeah, if you're gonna give me the 6.5, I'll take the 6.5.
Just like Novocaine, it always works. Isn't that what Ed Boone said on Remember the Titans? All right, we're going to try this other, the darker one, Cade, that you haven't tried. So I think the jalapeno cheese is the lightest colored one.
Yes, that's correct.
And so this does look like Frito chili pie adjacent. So we'll see if I'm right here.
Which one do I need to try pointed out? This one.
Yeah, that's Frito chili pie, and it's awesome.
That's really good.
Holy crap. That tastes just like Frito chili pie and boudin, which is exactly what it is.
Oh my God.
We spent
Brauny,
the first half of the show just burying
This
Louisiana.
was a brilliant idea.
Yeah, I know.
Brilliant idea.
We spent the first half of the show burying Louisiana, but the cuisine over there is elite.
Undoubtedly. Maybe my favorite food.
Cajun food is awesome.
It's no wonder that Zion's been putting on the pounds in New Orleans.
Hey, he lost weight.
He did. He actually looked a lot better before the season.
That is so good, man.
This is amazing.
That's like award winning. I'm telling you, again, if you're listening, Butcher's Corner in Nederland, Texas.
This has been my favorite Thunderdome Thursday.
Call them up.
This is like treat yourself Thursday.
I don't know if they ship and deliver, but they should if they don't. And I'm hoping, tell them Brauny sent you.
Will they know that? Will they know who that is?
Probably not.
Because you just told me they know you down there as Rhino.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Big one in state capital here. The Vanderbilt travels to Austin, where the Longhorns are 2.5-point favorites. Listen, Texas has kept their season alive.
They have.
They have.
They have.
If they had any competency on the other side of the field in the last 2 weeks, they have 4 losses.
Yeah.
But because they've got hope and they've kept their season alive, and I think Vanderbilt has been walking the tightrope where they could be on the other side of some of these games. One of the coin's going to come up tails for one of these two teams. I think it's going to be Vanderbilt. Give me Texas to win and cover and keep their hopes of a playoff season alive.
No. Go Doors.
I know who I want to win, but if I'm looking at the game now, I like the under here. Both of these defenses are pretty good, and I think Texas's offensive line, whether you think Vanderbilt's front seven is trash or not, they've played pretty good against LSU. They played pretty good against Missouri. Texas's offensive line is trash. Has there been a report, anything about Arch Manning playing?
Right.
He practiced today. He was listed as questionable on yesterday's availability report.
Well, if he practiced after concussion, he's going to play.
He practiced today. That's what Steve Sarkisian said. They played it on the Feinbaum show right before Mike Elko
Well, this line makes me think that Arch is going to play. Like Vegas knows Arch is playing. I don't think Texas would be given points if Matthew Caldwell was going to be starting this game. So I think Arch is going to play, and I think Texas is going to beat Vandy by more than 2 points, 2.5 points.
No, I think the Doors are going to win it outright. I do. Texas has looked really, really bad the last 2 weeks. Obviously, they've gone to overtime with 2 of the 3 for sure worst teams in the league. You could make an argument that Arkansas is down there as well, although Arkansas can score some points. We're going to find out how Texas fares against the Razorbacks here in a couple of weeks. But the excitement around that program is gone, at least for this season. Texas.
No. If they would have lost to Kentucky or
They're
Mississippi State, I'd be picking Vandy by 2 scores here. But there's still hope over there. You can still see a path to the playoff right now.
They're such a
they can't if they lose, they can't.
No, I think their fan base is out. I don't think there's going to be any excitement inside DKR at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Give me Diego Pavia, the guy that they're going to eventually build a statue of in Nashville, Tennessee. Clark Lee and company go into Austin and get a win.
Yeah, I know we've been talking about how they're kind of both teetering on the edge, but at least Vanderbilt's been doing it against good teams. Texas has been doing it against terrible, not terrible teams. Kentucky, terrible team. Mississippi State, solid squad. But I don't know. Nothing that I've seen this year makes me believe that Texas is a better team than Vanderbilt. I know that they're playing at home, and it's the first time they've played at home in a couple weeks, or more than a couple weeks.
It's been about a month, yeah.
Yeah, a month because Red River. So, I don't know. Give me the Doors by a touchdown.
All right, staying in the state of Texas, another big one where I think I like a live dog here. SMU in Dallas hosts Miami. The Hurricanes are 11.5-point favorites. Miami's been a bit stinky the last couple of weeks. They lost to Louisville, and then you look up and are they down at halftime to Stanford? Now they boat raced them in the second half, but I think they were losing at halftime to Stanford. If they weren't losing, it was like tied or very close. I think they ended up winning the game by like 30-something points. But Miami's been a little bit stinky, and SMU and Kevin Jennings and Rhett Lashley are coming off an embarrassing performance in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. They lost 13-12 to Wake Forest. I think this is a bounce-back spot for SMU. Miami hasn't left the state of Florida until this week. That's crazy.
That is wild.
It'll be November 1st, and this was the first time that Miami has ventured outside of their home state. I'm not saying SMU wins the game. I could see it happening, but I like the 11.5.
That is wild. November 1st, and they haven't left the Sunshine State. I'm trying to wrap my mind around that. Like, that makes sense, I guess, in the old Southwest Conference days. Texas A&M wouldn't leave the state of Texas maybe ever. But that's insane. That's truly insane that the schedule's worked out that way. I like Miami to cover. I don't know why. I know that's great analysis. I apologize, but that's a team that's going to make the playoff because I still think they are the most talented team in the ACC. All they've got to do is get to where do they play that? Charlotte. Win the ACC title game they're in. They're a shoe-in if they do that. And I still think Carson Beck's got something left in him. And now is the time to start feeling right, getting right before the games that truly matter.
Well, this one definitely matters because I think if Miami loses again, I don't know that they're a 10-2 team that gets in.
No, absolutely. They can't lose. That's why I'm going with Miami.
Well, I think Miami wins the game, but 11.5 is a lot of points.
I'm going with Miami to win by 2 scores, 2 touchdowns. Absolutely.
All right, Cade.
SMU covers. They don't win though. They'll cover.
I do got questions about like their offense only scoring 12 on the road against a Wake Forest team that's just mediocre. I think would be a kind way to describe it.
What happened with Kevin Jennings, man?
Well, they were playing over their head for a lot last year, I think. And then he got into that atmosphere at Penn State, and it kind of remember he threw all those interceptions. One was a pick six, and it overwhelmed him, I think. And
dude, I can't stop eating this stuff.
It's the same one, the Frito chili pie one. Yeah,
so good.
Well, let's go ahead and try the last one, which is jalapeno cheese. Something that we should be much more familiar with. Man, that one might be better than the other one.
That's really good. Usually you can't taste the jalapeno like that.
I know.
That's really good.
It's very jalapeno forward. It's not spicy, but what are we ranking those?
It's good. Like I have to rank something last, right?
Well, yeah, there's 3 of them.
Because you have to. I like the Frito chili pie. I like the brisket queso, and then the jalapeno would be third for me. But it's still very, very good. Wow.
I think that would be my list as well, but it's really, really hard to differentiate between the spots there. Yeah.
I would just change the 2 and 3. So I would go Frito chili pie, jalapeno, then brisket cheddar.
Is that still brisket cheddar right there?
That in the middle, yes.
I like that. I'm gonna have some of that too. I like that laugh.
All right. Here's an interesting one. I included this game because I looked at the line and I said, what? What is Vegas trying to do here? Virginia Tech at home against Louisville. The Cardinals are 10.5-point favorites. If you just made me, hey, guess what Vegas has Louisville favored by against Virginia Tech? I'd have said like 17.5. This is at 10.5.
Virginia Tech did just go on the road and beat Cal, to be fair. Not an intimidating environment.
Let me look.
But still, like, that's a tough trip to make and still go win a ball game.
Let's look, see what Virginia Tech's done before that game.
They've definitely been playing better since they've gotten their interim coach as well.
They lost to Wake by 7. We're competitive with Georgia Tech, and then they beat Cal. Like, okay. To me, though, this line is begging people to take Louisville. So I'm going to take Virginia Tech to cover. Because, like I said, like if I look at a line, I'm like, how is it only that? It feels like Vegas is begging you to take that.
Yeah, that's true. I think I would agree with that. I also think that Louisville has a tendency. Let me go look at their schedule real quick.
Well, they snuck away. Who'd they sneak away and just...
Exactly. That was my point, is that they've been kind of hanging... They've been kind of doing what Virginia's been doing, which is winning them real close. Let's see. Their most... Why am I on... Oh, they beat Boston College by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, Boston College is real stinky.
Boston College is bad. They beat Pitt by a touchdown.
Okay.
They only beat and then they beat Miami by 3. They lost to Virginia by 3. I don't know. I think they seem to play some close games.
Speaking of close games, I didn't have this on my list, but Syracuse is favored by like 7.5 against North Carolina. I think North Carolina's going to cover that. They're playing better. Lost by 3 on the road to Cal. They went for 2 trying to upset Virginia last week and just missed it. Let me see. I'm going to look up the line for that. UNC Syracuse football line. Syracuse is... Why does it have to be so hard? That's what she said. 2.5. North Carolina's a 2.5-point underdog. North Carolina can win that game.
Yeah.
I should have put that on my upset special.
You can make it a late edition there.
Yep. They're
Put
again,
it on there now.
They're playing a little bit better. All right. We got to get going. Florida and Georgia, world's largest outdoor cocktail party in Jacksonville. The Dogs are favored by 7.5. Hold on. Did you pick a side on Louisville, Virginia Tech?
Yeah, I picked Virginia Tech to cover.
I don't think I have. I'll take Virginia Tech to cover too.
All right.
10.5.
Florida Georgia line. Get that? The Florida Georgia line is minus 7.5
Nice.
in favor of the Dogs.
That was a simple joke.
I don't think Georgia's great,
I
but
did.
Thank you.
and I do think that Billy Gonzalez, the interim at Florida, is going to allow DJ Lagway to open it up a little more. Yeah, I'm going to go with the interim head coach. I don't think they're going to win.
I would agree with that. You see across all sports, you get like an interim or new coach bump. Kind of saw that a couple years ago when Elijah Robinson was the interim head coach here after Coach Fisher was dismissed. You know, I like that line too. I like the Gators to cover. Obviously, I think the Dogs are going to win that game. And
I think it'd be something like 28-24. Florida's got a good kicker, Trace Mack.
I think Florida's got the most talented quarterback in that game.
Yeah, and he should be healthier after a bye week.
True.
I like Florida.
Give me the Dogs. Cover and win.
Them dogs just barking. Hey, you want to talk about upset alert, and I ain't picking it, but this next game, Kansas State, who we all wrote off after they were awful the first 2 weeks of the season.
That's true.
They are in Manhattan, the Little Apple, and they are playing Texas Tech. The Red Raiders are 7.5-point favorites. Do we know who's playing quarterback for Texas Tech?
We do not know who's playing quarterback. I believe the Big 12 makes you do an availability report. Let me check it out.
I mean, at the best, they're getting a hobbled Morton, and at the worst, it's their third string quarterback.
Yeah, because
whatever.
Will Hammond's out for the year.
Hammond's out for the year. Yeah.
All right, new availability report. Baron Morton listed as probable,
so he'll be hobbled.
So he'll play.
So
most likely he will play.
But then if he's out, then they're kind of if he gets drilled at some point in the game and has to go out again, then could they be doomed?
Yes.
Hey, this is Tech season, man. Like, they can't lose again, I don't think.
Absolutely not.
I got eyes on an upset here, but I'll definitely take the 7.5. Again, like, Kansas State was awful the first couple of weeks of the season, and they're getting better. Hey, they lost to Army, didn't they?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I like that as well. Wildcats cover, if not win outright.
Yep, I'm with that as well.
You don't just walk into Manhattan, Kansas.
Bill Snyder Family Memorial Stadium.
They named the stadium after Bill Snyder?
You didn't know that?
I didn't know they named it after him. Good for him.
Kansas State also won the Battle of Mid last weekend, didn't they?
Yeah, they've won 17 in a row against Kansas.
The Battle of Mid.
Can you imagine your in-state rivals? You won 17 in a row against them.
Be amazing.
All right, moving on. Cal.
Hopefully Mike Elko can start that trend.
Yes, Cal versus Virginia. The Cavaliers, after escaping Chapel Hill, North Carolina, they exhale and go across the country to Cal I think that's a mid-afternoon kick.
2:45, I think.
Yeah. So Cal is Virginia's favored by 4.5 points. I can't get a read on Cal, and I keep thinking that every time these East Coast teams go out there, Cal's going to win. This is tough. I don't think that I would touch this game. I hate it. I just don't. Cal has done some stupid stuff. Their offense has struggled scoring points. I'll take Virginia to win and cover.
I got boudin in my mouth, Cade. You first.
Okay, I'll go. I'm just gonna continue to ride the Virginia wave until it fails me. So Virginia to win and cover.
I'm kind of worried about having to travel all the way across the country.
Yeah, but Duke did it and had no issue. Cal has been. I remember like
Virginia Tech just did it and they beat them in overtime. So
yeah.
Okay, in that case, give me the Who's.
I remember like we were looking at Cal's schedule after the first few weeks. You're like, man, Cal could win 10 games, and they stink. Turns out they were no good. It was fool's gold.
Virginia though.
Virginia could be fool's gold.
They could, but they do keep finding ways to win.
Cal has given up. So they gave up 18 to North Carolina, whatever. But the week before, 45 to Duke. And last week, 42 to Virginia Tech. Virginia can score. I think, yeah, Virginia wins and covers.
Yep.
All right. Ole Miss. This is an interesting one because when does the give-up factor happen in Columbia, South Carolina? Ole Miss at home. The Rebels are 12.5-point favorites against the Gamecocks. I think I saw South Carolina give their final death throes last week against Alabama. I think that was the best effort they were going to have to revive their season, get a feel-good factor going in Columbia again, and they came up short. Bama rallies and wins, and I think that's completely deflated their season. I think their head coach could be on the move. I don't think they're going to run him out of town, but I think he could be looking around and maybe seeing the writing on the wall there. So give me Ole Miss to win and cover. I think Ole Miss still has stuff to prove. And they don't have many tests left. And in terms of a talent matchup, this might be the closest they have remaining. I think Ole Miss proves a point at home. I think they win by 2 scores.
Well, how much time has Lane spent at practice this week versus interviewing for other jobs? That's a important factor to keep in mind here. But yeah,
how much practice does he need to be at for South Carolina?
Rebs by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, Trinidad. This is another opportunity for Trinidad Chambliss to put up big numbers. South Carolina, legitimately, it's Lenora Sellers playing hero ball every snap.
It's literally he's the whole team basically. I mean, he can't play defense, but
yeah, he's
they might as well
coach on the sideline.
Maybe toss him out there.
So I just think the give up factor, if it's not there yet for South Carolina, I think it's close.
Yeah, I think that unfortunately that you're probably right, because this really is the last. This is the last hurdle for Ole Miss. I mean, they have one more SEC team on the schedule, and it's Mississippi State. I mean, that'll be weird, to be fair. That's the Egg Bowl, and it's in Starkville, so that'll be weird.
Hey, you want to hear something cool?
They got Florida. They get Florida at home.
Oh, they get Florida at home, okay.
Can we take a break real quick? You guys want to hear something cool?
Sure.
Texas A&M football legend Von Miller was announced as a member of the 2026 induction class of the Texas Sports Hall of Fame. The Board of Trustees of the Texas Sports Hall of Fame announced on Thursday.
Cool.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
That'll be the first of many Hall of Fames for Von Miller.
Is he not in DeSoto's yet?
I don't know if
Does
DeSoto has
have a Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I don't think they have one. That'd be pretty. Their Ring of Honor would be pretty crammed.
It would be wild.
So congratulations to Vaughn.
That's awesome.
There are many more Hall of Fames inductions inbound for your future.
It'll be, for those interested, it'll be the 65th annual Texas Sports Hall of Fame induction banquet. Will be held at the base at the Extraco Event Center in Waco on Saturday, April 18th, 2026. Tickets and sponsorships are available at tshof.org.
Who else is going in with him?
Induction. I didn't see the entire class. I just got a release about Texas A&M.
All right,
I
so
can look it up.
We on the Rebs or Gamecocks, Cade?
I'm actually gonna. I think Lenora Sellers has enough fight in them to cover. I don't think they can win, but I think that they can cover that.
All right, Georgia Tech. They continue to kind of just when you talk about churning along.
I have a full list if you want them.
Okay, go through that before we pick this next game. Why'd you pick your laptop up?
Because look how small the font is. It's crazy. The 1996 Texas Western Miners men's basketball team. Deuce, Clint Dempsey, Chad Hedrick.
Clint Dempsey, my favorite athlete of all time.
Clint Dempsey's the man.
Favorite athlete of all time?
Yeah.
Wow.
Clint Dempsey's the man.
Charmaine James, looks like a rodeo lady. Steve McMichael, Zach Martin,
R.I.P.
Von Miller, Gary Patterson, and Louis Santop.
Man, how sweaty do you think Gary Patterson's going to be for this?
I'm interested to see if he goes in as a Horn Frog or as a Texas analyst.
Or does he get on stage and play guitar? I'm going to sing my acceptance speech. Everybody, here
amazing.
We go. Georgia Tech at home. The Yellow Jackets are favored by 5.5 against NC State. Another stinky line. Like I thought Georgia Tech would be probably a 9.5 or 10.5 point favorite against NC State. They're begging you to take Georgia Tech. So I'm going to go the other way and go NC State probably against my better. You know what? Screw that. NC State stinks. Georgia Tech, Haynes King, they keep rolling.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Haynes King. No team in college football is as dependent on the performance of their quarterback as the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, and they've got a damn good one. He's easy to root for. Haynes King is going to lead them to another victory in Hotlanta.
Yeah.
They're going to cover that thing.
Haynes King, Georgia Tech, Yellow Jackets, they cover. They win by 2 scores.
I just can't see myself going, if gambling was legalized in the state, I couldn't be watching the end of that game going, I need NC State to do X, Y, and Z because I want to win my bet, when I would rather have my money to pull for Haynes King.
I think that he's gotten better as the season's gone along, too.
Yeah.
I mean, like last week was his best performance of the year by far. He went crazy.
It's funny. They were talking about Haynes King and Diego Pavia. Like, those two quarterbacks need to play every year that they're allowed to in college football.
1,000%.
Because this is the most money making power they'll ever have.
Haynes King gets the
As an
Yellow
athlete.
Jackets to a college football playoff. Is his legacy in Atlanta on par with like Calvin Johnson?
Sure.
It would maybe be higher, would it not?
Yeah, probably higher. If they get to an ACC title game.
Trying to look up greatest Georgia Tech players of all time.
They had a quarterback there. Is it Hamilton? It's pretty
I mean,
good.
if they win the ACC championship, he
Hamilton.
might reach higher than Matt.
Demaryius
he probably won't
Thomas.
get higher than Matt Ryan's status, but
Well, Matt Ryan played at Boston College.
no, I know. I was.
Oh, you're talking about in Atlanta.
Yeah,
In Atlanta.
Oh,
All right. Tennessee at home on Rocky Top against Oklahoma in a loser leaves town scenario. The loser of this game is 99.99% out of the playoff discussion. The Volunteers are favored by 3.5. I can go first here, and I can be short and simple. Tennessee wins. Tennessee covers. I don't see a scenario. I know Tennessee's defense is bad. John Mateer's not right. And everybody was quick to crown him as the golden child and a surefire member at the Heisman Trophy ceremony. And he's not been right since the hand injury. The ball doesn't look right coming out of his hands. I think Tennessee will score enough in their home stadium. And I also think Oklahoma has been a little bit exposed by quarterbacks that can throw the ball down the field, especially over the middle of the field. Obviously, Joey Aguilar can do that. I think Tennessee can win this game. 3.5 points is not a lot if you think they're going to score a bunch of touchdowns, and I think they can. So give me Tennessee to win and cover.
Okay, did you like how Brauny began that with, I'm going to keep this short and sweet, and then gave us a breakdown of how much
Well,
he
when I looked
doesn't
down at my
trust
time,
John
when I looked down
Mateer?
at the time, I thought it said 5:46.
Oh, you've got plenty of time.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm with you, and my reasoning's a little bit different. You called it a loser leaves town game, so it is a must-win for both teams. Which head coach do you have more faith in game planning correctly and not wilting under pressure?
Well, Oklahoma,
Mine would be Josh Heupel, and Josh Heupel would love to push his alma mater one step closer to clowning the scary-looking man, Brent Venables.
Brent Venables and Kim Mulkey be a scary Halloween duo.
Is that what Olin's going to be for Halloween?
No, it's not.
No, that would be hilarious.
Is it going to be something like that? Like it's going to get him in trouble?
Not really. I don't think.
Well,
I don't think so.
His Stephen McGee costume last year was brilliant.
2 years ago when he was thinking about when he ended up pulling it off, the David Nuno look.
Oh yeah,
And we had to walk him back on one of the things he wanted to do, and we're like, "No, Olin,
You can't do that anymore.
you can't do that."
If Oklahoma leaves this or loses this game, then they've got Bama in 2 weeks. Then they got Missouri, and then they got LSU. LSU, I think the give up factor is real high over there, but they could end up as a 7-5 team.
I would love that. I would revel in that. I can't.
And then that discussion
let
gets
it
real in
happen.
Norman. Like, do they run him off after that? So I like Tennessee in this spot. All right, Cade, did you pick?
I did not, but just give me Tennessee. I think that their defense stinks and Oklahoma's offense stinks, but Oklahoma's offense stinks worse than Tennessee's defense does. So I think Tennessee wins by probably a touchdown at least.
The Oklahoma running game has been non-existent, and especially
it's been
since
super bad.
Mateer's broke his hand. I think they're hesitant to run him as much, and so it's taken a huge toll in the running game.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
Nebraska in a really interesting spot here at home in Lincoln. They welcome in the USC Trojans, and USC is 6.5-point favorites. I think USC is supremely gifted in this game athletically at the skill spots. I don't think Nebraska can even come close to scoring with USC. Now, what happened to USC whenever they've shown that they can play bully ball because when Michigan went out there, they beat up Michigan that way. So I like USC's versatility. This is a big number for Nebraska at home, but I just don't see a way I don't like the Cornhusker offense.
I don't like really anything about this Cornhusker team. I just don't think they're very good. The one thing that has me interested in this matchup is that Matt Rule is seemingly now off the table for going to his alma mater at Penn State, signing that extension to stay in Lincoln for a few more years. Does that give the team some more clarity? Are they allowed to play with some more focus this week against the Trojan team that, as you said, supremely talented than them pretty much across the board? I think the Cornhuskers could keep it close at Memorial Stadium. I think USC is ultimately going to win the game. But, man, for some reason, I just want to take Nebraska to play a more spirited competition than we've seen from them at different times this year and to cover 6.5 points.
Okay.
To quote Olin Buchanan, Trojans to cover.
Nebraska was in an absolute dogfight last week against Northwestern at home.
Amazing.
But
maybe Matt Rule was thinking about, maybe he was spent too much time away from practice to interview in State College, and the powers that be up at Penn State University said, "But hey, buddy, maybe you should park yourself at Lincoln for a little while longer."
Can I take you through Nebraska's last 3 games? See if this will sway you at all. They beat Maryland by 3 on the road on October 11th.
Bad.
Last week. 2 weeks ago, they got blitzed by PJ Fleck, row the boat, Minnesota 24, Nebraska 6. Last week, they get a late touchdown, and they beat Northwestern 28-21.
Okay.
Not exactly 3 world beaters.
Okay, I've been swayed. I don't think Nebraska's going to play a spirited game. I like USC by 7.
Okay, there we go. The final,
How's that for being a flip-flopper, Cade Bickham?
Final pick'em game for me here, Utah at home. A huge line again. Cincinnati's ranked.
This is actually a ridiculous line. My jaw actually dropped when I looked down at the screen and saw this.
Utah minus 10.5 in Salt Lake City against Cincinnati, who's ranked, 8 spots higher?
7, yeah.
7 spots higher? I think it was 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
God, I hate this.
But I
stole his phone, chat. I stole his phone. Chat, I stole his phone.
Utah given 10.5 points. I get it. It's Salt Lake City at night. That's what this comes down to. Rice-Eccles Stadium at night. Cincinnati, that's a pretty good plane trip. Brennan Sorsby, I think he has the most touchdowns in the country.
He's kind of a dog.
Kind of a dog.
Brennan Sorsby, dog. Cade Bickham, dog.
Trey Yesavage.
Trey Yesavage, dog. Meow.
We don't know cats.
No cats up in here.
There are no cats. Be a dog.
Be a dog. Connor Wigman, dog.
Where are we at on this game? Because I'm tempted to.
I got Cincinnati. I'm gonna go first. I got Cincinnati outright.
Whoa. This is a loser leaves town game, right?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think you're in the Big 12 championship with more than 1 loss.
I'll take the 10.5 Cincinnati. I don't know if they won the game, but that's a lot of points.
Definitely like Cincinnati to cover. My decision here made easier by the fact that Sandy Koufax went to the University of Cincinnati, and that is my idol.
There he is.
That? Did you know that? He played basketball there.
I knew that he was your idol, yes.
But did you know he went to Cincinnati?
No, and I didn't know that would be the reason why you picked Cincinnati in this game.
You did know or didn't know?
Did not know.
Well,
you only get the hard-hitting analysis here on the B team on a Thunderdome Thursday.
I'm reeling, guys. Like, it's been a bad couple of days. I feel like I'm getting sick. Like the Toronto Blue Jays have just pummeled me to the point where I'm making football picks based off where the 89-year-old former baseball player attended college.
All right, about a minute left. I've got some upset alerts, so you guys tell me what you think of these. UTSA at home against Tulane. The Green Wave are favored by 5.5. UTSA has not been great this year, but here's my reasoning for this.
They have Derrick Henry Jr. at running back?
No, I'm not talking about that.
John Henry Jr.
I know what his name is. I was making.
He's a really good player, but my reasoning here is what has been the talk surrounding the Tulane program the last week?
John Summerall taking a job at somewhere else in the state?
It's just John Summerall taking another job, and he's had to answer the question. I've seen the quotes on my scrolls 2 or 3 times. People keep asking him about it, and he said he's saying all the right stuff. My sole focus right now is on Tulane and finishing the season. I do think Jeff Traylor's good to come up and bite you, and I think this is where he comes up and bites somebody. I think the Roadrunners can win the game at home. The next one, Y'all like that one?
Yeah. So what's
I like that one.
what you said is that John Summerall has not called any reporters selfish this week.
And Richard does a good job of making it about him.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying it's a good job of
that's selfish work, Cade.
It's a good job of John Summerall answering the questions. The respectful.
We got to get out of here. Clemson at home is favored by 2.5 versus Duke. The Blue Devils are definitely live dog there
for sure.
Manny Diaz as a quietly good candidate, or emerging as a quietly good candidate, perhaps for one of these bigger jobs. The
Florida
last
job,
one,
perhaps,
or the next school that I'm about to talk about. Florida State at home minus 9.5 against Wake Forest. There's a lot of people ready to. Florida State and the people in Tallahassee, I think, are looking around the country and going, man, everybody's punting their coach. We have an opportunity to punt ours. I think there's a lot of negative energy around that program, just like there was with Brian Kelly last week going into Baton Rouge. Wake Forest, we've seen they can win games against pretty good teams. They did last week. That's a big number. Don't be surprised if you look up late and Wake Forest is in that game with a chance to take the lead in the fourth quarter. I like the Demon Deacons. All right. Thank you guys for a very entertaining week here on the B Team. Again, we tip our hat to the state of Louisiana for all the fodder. We tip our hat to Butcher's Corner in Nederland, Texas for the delicious boudin, the best bit we've done on Thunderdome Thursday.
Absolutely.
We're on a 94.5-hour break. Enjoy your bye week. We'll see you next week on the B Team.
Figure it out, Dodgers.